just eating a birthday cake in a mug thing.
Yeah, just a little mug cake, little snack.
I'm actually jealous.
Did you get a birthday cake this year?
No. I'm not super big on all that stuff. I don't really like tell people, "Hey, it's my birthday."
I was convinced your birthday was in a separate part of the year for the first,
It's like 6 months away.
Yeah, for the first, 10 months we knew each other. I thought your birthday was in March when it's in November.
Hello, Sam. It is Friday
hi,
again.
Sam.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm going to try to see if I can open up the Twitch live stream chat in my browser, now that I have a new computer that runs faster.
You know what you could do is open it up, pop out the chat, like it has an option to pop it out, and then you can just close the thing of it's actually us on stream, and you can have just the chat there.
Oh man, I gotta log back in. It's gotta email me a code.
Can't you just go to twitch.tv/the Whatnauts?
Well, I just went to twitch.tv and I clicked log in. That might have been my problem.
I think you don't have to log in.
Well, too late.
This is open for everyone.
I'm already down that road. I'm gonna log in, and you can't stop me.
Melissa is too far gone.
I'm in the system. I've hacked the planet.
Sounds good. Welcome, everyone, to episode 77 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. This is the last one we're going to be doing for 2019. Mm-hmm. End of the year episode. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. How are you guys? Are you guys good? I hope you guys out there have been good. How are you, Sam?
What's my pop out the chat button again? Sam, help.
There should be a little gear towards the bottom of the...
Oh, that's what it is.
Chat.
Okay, now I got it.
It says pop out. Bam. There we go.
Okay.
Melissa, how was your week?
It was all right. I honestly... Okay. Sunday afternoon, we recorded our episode of the review show.
Yes.
We were talking about Gremlins and Gremlins 2. And I mentioned that there's a scene in Gremlins 2 where two of the characters go to a restaurant. And I noticed I've seen this movie so many times. But
super Canadian restaurant.
Yes, that's the joke, is that they're at a Canadian-themed restaurant. And I've seen this movie so many times, but it was only this year that I noticed that real softly in the background, they're playing a song by Canadian singer-songwriter Gordon Lightfoot, who's an old childhood favorite of mine. You can see that the adult I have become now is grown out of the child who loved obscure 1970s Canadian singer-songwriter Gordon Lightfoot.
Canada is so 1995. Who likes Canada anymore these days? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Celine Dion, Catherine O'Hara, Shania Twain, mini greats. So later that day, I went to go see Knives Out. Mm-hmm. Do you know what Knives Out also has in it?
Chris Evans.
It does. It does indeed have him. It is a scene where two characters go to a restaurant and quietly in the background, they start playing a Gordon Lightfoot song. This is really funny. 3 hours after I'd just been explaining this to you, I sit down for a brand new movie and it is happening again.
It's deja vu all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So how was Knives Out? So I've heard
good.
I've heard mostly good things. Every once in a while, there's one person who's like, I didn't like it. But most everyone else is like, this is like movie of the year.
It's good. There's way more to it than you'd think there is. Like, everything you see in the trailer is there, but there's like an hour of other stuff that is completely not related that you have no idea it would be doing.
Interesting.
Very, very surprising movie. Lots of great performances.
What's it about?
Okay. So there is this man who has written tons and tons of like best-selling crime and mystery novels. He's like the modern day, exactly like you. Kyle, which of your novels is your favorite?
The non-existent one.
So he's
Pick it
he's
up
like a
on
modern
Amazon.
day
I'm just
Agatha Christie. He's written all these novels. And he dies. It appears to be a suicide. And all the family is around him mourning. But there's a private investigator who was hired by, he does not know. Like, he was sent like some cash and a newspaper clipping about the death in the mail anonymously. And he's like, I don't know who hired me, but evidently somebody wants me here to look around and make sure if this really was a suicide or not. And this man has this giant inheritance and all of these assets, like the royalties to all these books and everything.
Mhm.
And so it's a fight between all of his family members and his beloved nurse, who's kind of, pitted against them.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's like a murder mystery with like a very dysfunctional family. Everybody's like a joke of some stereotypical problematic person of today.
That sounds fun, though.
It is fun. Daniel Craig is doing this like Kentucky Fried Chicken accent.
Oh no. Okay.
I mean, he does it well. He's like truly committed to it. It seems consistent from scene to scene. He makes it work, but it is a big choice. It's well executed, but it is a big choice. And I'm like, I feel like this should have an intermission for just like a couple minutes, like 10 minutes into the movie when he first speaks a line where it's like, okay, guys, we know this is a lot to take in. Just take some time to yourselves, really contemplate this, turn to a friend, discuss this, call your pastor, whatever it is you need to do to process Daniel Craig's Southern accent. Y'all ready? Okay, we're going to start the movie again.
Okay. Sounds good. I feel bad because I guess it wasn't, wasn't this year. It's been almost a year now since I've had Movie Pass. You remember Movie Pass?
I remember you complaining about it.
So I liked the idea. It was really neat. It was, you pay a certain fee each month and you could go see as many movies as you wanted. Mm-hmm. And then they kept changing the rules. And then it was like, you can only go see 2 movies. You can only go see a specific movie. We'll pick the movie for you. You're going to watch this same movie.
Everyone.
Right, yeah. It was just like, they kept like running out of money and trying to figure out how to, like, just how to make it work, right? And, it was one of those things that I eventually was just like, all right, well, I'm going to have to cancel this because I can't go see any movies anymore because your service doesn't work. And yeah, Sam, I think it officially died sometime this year, but I canceled it over a year ago, I think. But yeah, that would have been something I would have gone to go see. Now I'm back to only watching Marvel movies and superhero movies like the loser I am.
What was the last movie that you went to go see that we did not cover on the Reactor Core?
I don't know. I think I saw... What was Ocean's 8?
Oh, how was that?
It was fine. It was good. I mean, it's not super memorable. They didn't need to make it. It's your standard heist film, as you would expect the Ocean's films to be. And then when they show how they did the heist at the end of the film, it almost makes like no sense. Just like, what? That's what happened? Oh. So it's not as good as Ocean's 11. So
what are all of the Oceans ranked? So let's say it's 11.
I don't even remember.
Okay. That game failed.
Let's look them up.
Yeah, what does anybody else think about the ranking of the Oceans?
Oceans movies ranked.
I was at trivia last night. We won again. We have won at this trivia night the last 3 times in a row, which is a daunting streak. And there was a question about, river dance.
I know of it, yeah.
As
My
the
mom
general
used to be
concept, but also
into it.
there was like a guy who had a special, like a TV special, concert special, something like that called River Dance. And it was asking, what is the sequel to this dance special? And the correct answer is Lord of the Dance. But somebody wrote down that the sequel...
I actually maybe would have gotten that one if I saw it written down. It'd been like, Lord of the Dance, I remember that name.
But somebody thought that the sequel to River Dance was Ocean Dance.
Is it Ocean Dance? Is
I'm
it Riverdale?
Still laughing at this.
Or is it... okay, let's see here. 6.7. According to IMDb, Ocean's 11 got a 7.8 stars. The next highest is Ocean's 13 with 6.9.
Ooh, big gap.
Then we go all the way back to 1960 with the original Ocean's 11 with a 6.6.
Demonic. Cursed.
Then we get Ocean's 12, which was a 6.5. And then Ocean's 8, which was a 6.2.
That's actually not so bad. Like 7.8 all the way down to 6.2. That's pretty close.
Yeah, like it's not so bad that you're just like, oh my god, this is awful. I don't want to be here. I'm going to walk out of the theater. It's just like, it's decent enough. You know? It's one of those films. I haven't seen those in a long time, though.
Movies that people don't like. So I went to see Knives Out. This is directed by Rian Johnson.
Right.
I decided I'm free later tonight. I'm going to treat myself to a double feature. I'm going to watch Knives Out and The Last Jedi back to back. And except for the fact that Frank Oz surprisingly shows up in both movies, I can't tell they're directed by the same person. They felt very different to me. I'm trying to get a handle on this guy. Like, what are your trademarks? What are your touchstones? And I don't have it yet. I'll have to dive into the catalog if I want to nail this down. Anything
else by Rian Johnson?
I have seen Brick and I have seen Looper, and those two feel similar to each other. But like I lose it a little more. Like Brick kind of feels like Looper. Looper kind of feels like Last Jedi. But then I go from Last Jedi to Knives Out, or Knives Out back to anything else. I'm like, well, I'll believe you if it's the same guy. I can't tell.
Okay.
Except for that Joseph Gordon-Levitt also makes little cameo appearances. Sometimes he's just a voice on a phone. He's busy.
Yeah. I think I actually haven't seen Looper. But I'm
surprised.
Brick. We covered it on an old episode before you were involved with the Whatnauts here. Yeah, Star Wars. Star Wars is coming out this week.
A week from now, I will have seen it. I will know which Skywalker rises and how. So I rewatched Last Jedi, and then the next day, I started watching Force Awakens. I fell asleep, woke up only long enough, completely by wonderful accident, woke up only long enough to hear the Daniel Craig cameo, fell back asleep, woke up, rewound the movie, fell asleep again, woke up, rewound the movie, finished it. And then because I still had the digital rental for a couple more hours, then I just went and fast forwarded through and watched various highlights from The Last Jedi again. And then I'm like, I'm going to go back and watch New Hope. So I've just been on a long, sleepy, broken up Star Wars journey this week.
Okay. I was going to say, you started at the top and then excuse me, I almost choked on my words there. You started at the top and then worked your way down. Were you like, did you decide to do the Ryan Johnson one and then like, oh, I'm gonna go back and watch the first one and then watch the Ryan Johnson one again and then go see the new one?
I didn't have a plan. I thought in general I should rewatch some Star Wars. Probably at least The Last Jedi and Force Awakens. And I did do that.
Okay.
In whatever weird order made sense to me. Oh, because I know them all well enough that I don't feel like I have to rewatch them in order. Like, it's not like I'll get confused. I know how they go. I just want to rewatch them in general. So that's why I'm like, oh, what do I feel like?
So, where do you stand with The Last Jedi? Is that something that matters? Because I know you're not like a super Star Wars fan.
I like it. It works for me in what I needed out of the movie. I think it's technically pretty impressive. It's beautiful, good performances, music, really neat, like new visual designs. I dig it. It works for me, but I'm also aware, like, who's listening to me? Who's listening to the girl who's like, I've seen Star Wars a couple times as an adult, I think, and my favorite character is C-3PO, who's nobody's favorite character. I mean, people like him, but he's nobody's favorite.
I didn't like it. I remember coming out of it kind of confused, being like,
okay,
it looked really good. Like, it was beautifully shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know how I felt. Like, there were some choices that I was just like, I don't know if I like that or where it's headed now. But there was something I saw this week that I don't think I noticed until I saw it this week. Someone on Twitter pointed out that when Rey is out there with Luke and she's training and she's like, she has the lightsaber and she's like hiding that rock. It's the same fight choreography that Kylo does against Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
Yeah. Like beat for beat, exact same stuff. And it's just like,
interesting.
That's actually really neat. I like that.
Yeah.
Just because you get to see their parallels, and somehow they do have some kind of connection.
That's one of my favorite parts of The Last Jedi, which I know may also be. I know in
Force
general.
Skype.
Yeah, for Skype. I know in general why some people don't like The Last Jedi, and like you've mentioned before that you don't like it, but I've never gotten like a specific reason why Kyle doesn't like the movie.
So overall, I think there were just some really, really weird choices made. I think Ryan Johnson wasn't necessarily wrong to want to explore and do all that stuff, because the first film, Force Awakens, was kind of just a big reset button. Like, it's basically A New Hope beat for beat. And it's like, hey, let's basically tell that same story but with newer characters so we can get people hooked in, and then movie number two we can do what we want and go our own direction. It just seems like a lot of the things they were setting up in the first film were completely thrown out in the second. Like he went to go explore things in a manner of like not almost not having respect for what came before it, is what I felt like. I know a lot of people talk about Rey's parents and stuff, and there was that big mystery of like, oh, who is she? Who is her parents? Is that important? Maybe not, but we don't know. And it seemed like you wanted that to kind of be a mystery. And then in movie number two, it was just like, yeah, no one cares. who the fuck cares about your parents? Let's move on. And it was like
No.
you could have done that a lot better.
See, this is what I think about it. The question of Rey's parents is very, very important to her. And it's not really a question for her. Like, she was left there with Unkar Plot when she's approximately like 5. We see a brief little flashback of her. She looks like old enough that like you would remember your parents. You'd remember like what their names were. You'd remember facts about them. They're not these like vague, shadowy people that left you as a baby. She's like, they're coming back for me. And it's this search for like, and it's not an active search. It's this trust of they're coming back for me. If I wait on Jakku, there they'll be. Oh no, I have to leave Jakku for like resistance fighting reasons. Okay, but I'll hold on to the hope that we will meet each other out there again among the stars.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's necessarily like the narrative of the movie is setting up like, who's Rey's parents? Text your vote in today.
I don't think that's necessarily the main plot of like, hey, we need to figure out who's Rey's parents are. But so much of Star Wars is about legacy and like who came before you, who was your master, who trained you, all of that stuff. So there is a part of it where it's like, yes, I can see how that would be important. But that's just one thing, right? Like in the end, I would be totally fine if like, yeah, like who like her parents are no one special, but it was the way it was presented and handled. It seemed like they like set up your expectations to do one thing and then was just like, fooled you. We're not gonna focus on that.
I don't think that's I don't think that's within the film. I think that's the culture around the film that dug so deep into who are Rey's parents. And there's 1,000 different conspiracy theory videos out there. So like the audience feels let down when that is not explored in movie 2. But you look at Rey, it is that like crux of the information that Rey, look in yourself, admit to yourself, they were nobodies. They were, they sold you for drinking money. They're nobodies. It doesn't matter. You're the only one who matters. That's Kylo telling her this. This person who she's built this, for better or for worse, incredibly strong bond with. And maybe it like is narratively, meditant narratively to the audience, a little bit of a letdown after they've been wondering about this for like 3 years. But to Rey herself, I think that is an important moment for her. And that is it's not the answer she's looking for, but within her own little narrative, I think that works. And that's the confrontation of it that she needs.
And I think you're 100% right. It's more so the way they presented that. It's like when it gets down to it, I think at the end of the day, they're trying to say, you don't need to be someone special to be a Jedi or stuff like that. But again, it was the way the scene was handled, the way it was presented, the way that information was brought up so fast and then tossed to one side. It was like that. You could have had a really, really special moment there that meant so much more to people and really nailed that home, and I don't think it did. But again, that's just one small part of the whole thing. There's the mystery of Snoke. Who is Snoke? Where did he come from? If he's that old and he's that powerful, where was he 30 years ago? What was he doing then? Why wouldn't there be some kind of weird Sith thing going on with that? Because there's the rule of 2. So who's this guy? Huh? Like this makes no sense.
Snoke, I don't know if the narrative is 100% done with. Like, I'm okay about it. I thought he was interesting enough. Mostly I just like Andy Serkis, and I like that Snoke had like that cool red chamber and that like gold robe, like he's a boxer. Like, I liked those parts of it, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of that. But like, intellectually. Like, I don't need Snoke to come back. I just like hearing Andy Serkis's voice.
Yeah. There's weird acting choices. Mark Hamill has been very vocal of like, I don't like the choices you're making here. I don't think that's who Luke Skywalker is. I know more recently, even oh god, why am I blanking on his name? Finn.
Oh, John Boyega.
Yeah. He, in the past like week or so, has been like, yeah, I didn't like a lot of the choices that were made. And so it's kind of this weird thing of like, I respect him for taking the chances that he took, right? It just seems like Star Wars to have a reception that poor to a film, you would have think like they would have caught some of this beforehand. Of like, we know that Star Wars is notoriously strict on what they do and what they don't do and what they allow in TV shows and video games and books and comics and all that stuff. So like it's kind of interesting to see like, how did this much happen? How did she go to a planet where there's slavery, and instead of freeing the slaves, she frees the animals instead? Okay, sure. Like, there's it's just like small thing after small thing, and it's just like
she's busy. Like, she has somewhere, she can't stay. They're on a time limit. They can't just stay on Canto Bight, righting every wrong there. They got big missions. They logistically needed those horse whatevers. And also, like, I imagine the horse whatevers would be in a, I don't know, like, they're easier to free and they are better equipped to forage for themselves in the wild than I think those kids might be. I sympathize with the kids. I would like the kids to be free. But I don't know if you turn a kid loose in the wild, if the kid is going to be able to, like, find food the way an animal is.
Sure, yeah. And again, I'm not saying all of this stuff like should have been big narrative beats. Like she needed to free the children to do X, Y, and Z. No, it's small things that was an odd choice. Okay, fine, sure. Let's move on. Okay, that was another odd choice. Huh. Okay. Well,
there's no denying the movie's weird, but like, this works on me. We've covered this before. This is something I brought up in the Spider-Man Far From Home episode of the Reactor Core, where I'm like, I was hoping it would be Stranger, because when I sit down and I pay my money and I drive out there and I get in the theater, my attitude is, just fuck me up. Just whatever you want to do, I'm here for it. Take me on a ride. I don't do roller coasters. A narrative roller coaster I can do. Whatever you want, go for it. There's just something with Star Wars where, like, I know it, I like it, I'm interested in it, but it's not, like, nestled deep within my heart and soul. It's not one of the foundations of who I am. It's just, like, a cool oddity I go look at, right? Like, my relationship with Star Wars, and I've been doing all this Star Wars stuff, like, this week. I've been listening to a ton of Star Wars podcasts. I'm like, there's people that are like season ticket holders and diehard fans of a sports team. And I'm the person that's like, oh, I'm only interested in baseball when it's the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me. So I'm like, do whatever you want. I came here for entertainment, not some sort of like it is heartwarming and I do like these characters. You know, I feel empathy for them, but like, I don't need anything from them except to be entertained. And what entertains me is like, just make a wild turn. Go for it.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that does still bug me about about The Last Jedi, and this is another like meta narrative thing. They go to Canto Bight. The second you're there, that's a beautiful planet. Everything there is gorgeous. the landscape, the architecture, the people themselves walking around, like the decor of everything, the lavishness of it. It is beautiful to look at. And the second it's on screen, I'm like, oh, I want to live here. And then Rose is like, this is filled with the worst people in the universe. All of these people are monsters. This place shouldn't exist. So I'm now in this weird quandary of, I love the art design of this place. I really want to appreciate what all the artists did to make this thing look so beautiful. Whoops. I'm not supposed to think it's beautiful. I'm supposed to think it's terrible. But it is beautiful. So I'm stuck in this place where it's like, now I feel guilty for appreciating the technical artwork.
Those are two different things, though. Like, recognizing that, hey, there is some great craftsmanship behind the world design, the character design, all of that stuff. Just loving how it all looks. And then recognizing terrible people when you see them. Like, those are two totally separate things. I don't think Coruscant, you need to feel bad. Like, Coruscant is pretty, but there's nothing about it that's like, I want to be a Coruscant city girl. But the second Canobite is on the screen, I'm like, I am about this. I want to go there. This is my new favorite setting these movies have ever been to. And now who do I look like being like, I want to live in Canobite. Like, I feel like I was like boxed into a corner. Take it over and show them the way.
Like, they built up the most beautiful thing in the world to sort of like tug the rug out from under you. Like, stop thinking it's pretty. Those are ill-gotten gains.
Which is, I think, kind of overall how I feel about the film. Like, again, like, I was just like, this film is beautiful. It looks amazing. I love it. The designs look incredible. Okay, I don't like the characteristics of some of the story and stuff like that. Like, right? Like, it feels like I had the rug pulled from underneath me, and not in a good way.
Yeah,
I don't know how that would be a good thing, but sure.
Yeah, and like I've always liked it, but I've also been in the position of, this is people's heart and soul. Like, I look at Luke Skywalker in this movie and I'm like, okay, I guess this is one option you could take after what I've seen him before. This is interesting. I'll watch this. And so many other people are like, this is one of the foundations of my outlook on the world and how I built my character and how I try to be a hero in my everyday life. And I feel like it's like being messed around with. And I'm like, oh no, I feel so guilty liking something that other people think is bad time after time.
I've tried to stay away as much as I could. Sure, I'm not a big fan of the film, but I don't want to argue with people about it. Like, no, you have to hate this film, and you have to hate this film with me. No, if you like it, that's fine. Do your thing. Enjoy it. Kind of moving on though. Do you have any quick theories of what you think might happen in episode 9, the Rise of Skywalker? I don't know.
I think there's a the in there. Is it Rise of Skywalker or The Rise of Skywalker? I don't know.
Rise of the Skywalker, the.
I'm a busy lady. I don't have time to say every the. I don't have very many theories because, like, I don't have the toolbox to put a theory together. I don't know any of this mythology, any of this lore. Somebody will kiss somebody else. Can't tell you either theory. Party involved. There will be a kiss. There will be one. I don't know. I'm real excited for all the C-3PO we're going to get. He is a Skywalker. Anakin built him. He's part of the family. He's part of the lineage. I wonder if this may have something to do with him. You know, he's my favorite of all 3 Skywalker siblings. He's their big brother. He's the oldest. He's the most responsible.
Okay. Yeah. I think something is going to happen to C-3PO. They're going to use him to somehow save the day. Don't know how. Because there is that scene we saw in the trailer He's like, I'm taking one last look at all my friends.
Huh.
Let's see. What else do I think? I think Rey's gonna end up being like the lineage stuff is gonna be confirmed, so that she is no one. You know, she's not related. But I think they are going to turn the name Skywalker into the new Resistance. Like, you will be a Skywalker if you join the Resistance. The Resistance has now changed their name to the Skywalkers. Something like that.
This is what I've heard from everyone. Anybody who has any theory about Rise of Skywalker, it's that one. And so I don't know, like...
That kind of makes it like, well, if everyone is thinking of that, are they really going to do that one?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I've heard other people say that there might be time travel, which I don't want. I don't want that at all.
Endgame, like... I feel like there have been enough other stories that have rested on time travel. Endgame, that pinnacle rested on time travel. Wasn't very important in the final act of it, but Harry Potter, major time travel thing. I don't know. I just feel like Star Wars is plenty. It doesn't need that trope in it. It's got enough other toys to play with, you know?
Yeah. Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
I have no idea how he factors in there.
He lost his head, right? No head?
I actually don't remember how he died. I don't think he got decapitated.
Do you know that Vine where it's like a guy walking around outside and he's on his cell phone and he says, "So no head?" And then he slams the phone down on the ground, jumps on a skateboard, and breaks the skateboard?
I think I have seen
Is that how he
died? Pretty much. No, I actually don't remember off the top of my head how he died.
Maybe the Night Sisters also built him a spider body.
Yeah, maybe.
Star Wars. They're all spiders.
Yes, Sam, we know. It's not about decapitation. It's about blowjobs.
Frankly, could be anything.
I mean, hey, what a way to go out, though, right? Getting a blowjob. We know that Darth Sidious, his master, if I'm not mistaken, was Darth Plagueis. He had figured out to cheat death, so they say. And that's what Palpatine was tempting Anakin with in the prequel trilogy, which is why partly why he went to the dark side, because he knew that if Padme died, maybe he could figure out how to raise her back from the dead. So maybe he figured it out somehow, some way. We also know that there's going to be some kind of new powers. J.J. Abrams said that we will see the Force being used in a way that we have never seen it.
Maybe they'll just fly. Like, just fly around. Yeah. I don't know. Leia can fly, kind of. Yoda does very big jumps. Flying, next evolution.
Can they fuse? Can they do the, like, fusion? And, like, Rey and Kylo become one person?
Oh, like Stevani?
Let's see. Have I ever told you the tragedy for Darth Plagueis the Wise? This would be funnier if you could hear me. Yeah, I think he said that line in the prequels. That I know that's where that comes from, Sam. But yeah, I don't know.
You know what I want?
What do you
Back
want?
in the 80s, Weird Al Yankovic releases the seminal classic Yoda. In 1999,
Yoda.
it says I'll be making these movies till the day I die. Oh, I think it's, then they did. They came back. They are old and movies were still made. It's kind of poetic. In 1999 or 2000, he comes back with The Saga Begins. I don't think he's yet done a Star Wars song for these sequels. All I want, Weird Al song. This is our end credits.
Credits.
John
song.
Williams and Weird Al Yankovic. The combo you've always wanted.
I would actually prefer to see him being a musician playing in one of the bars.
Yes. Yes.
Like singing that song. Stalin on a stump, sitting down on a log. And
then they use that Rogue One technology and he looks like himself from like 1982.
Yes, exactly. That'd be good. One last theory I heard that I don't think they're going to do is that we might see teenaged Yoda. Because we see baby Yoda in The Mandalorian, and if these movies take place 30 or so years after that, he'd be 80 years old, maybe? You might be like 12 or 13 in human years.
So he's living on the Groot timeline where you are old man, then become baby, then become teen, eventually grow back into man.
So the child in The Mandalorian is who I'm referring to. That is not actually Yoda.
Well, I know it's not Yoda. This is what I've been thinking for several solid weeks. How I wish we had anything. Like, I understand there is no other name we have for this kid, so we just have to call the kid Baby Yoda. But it isn't him. I'm just knowing that narratively, old, baby, teen.
People are also wondering, since he's about 30 years old in The Mandalorian, or no, 50,
he's 50.
50 years prior.
God, I'm sorry. I just need to stop. I just need to stop and think for a second about how that baby is older than the titular Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That baby's almost older than Werner Herzog.
But 50 years old. So 50 years prior in the Star Wars timeline would have put it at right about episode 2 or 3. And you know which two other of those species were around at around that
Yaddle.
time. Maybe Yoda and Yaddle fucked.
Well, that's so crass, Kyle. These are a classy couple. They engaged in magnificent galactic coitus.
They were like, let's put on some Genuine, some R&B, let's get some baby making music on. He puts on Yoda, Y-O-D-A-O.
You know the joke, right? That like decades and decades ago, before this was a term in like the common vernacular, when George Lucas needed a space version of jazz, he just called it jizz. This is, it's so immature, never fails to delight me. Never once. It's one of the things I can rely most on in the world.
There you go. So yeah, who knows? Moving on though. Did you see that Wonder Woman trailer?
I sure did.
What'd you think?
Speaking of, I liked it. Chris Pine is back.
I liked it too.
I like all the Chris's. I think I am particularly fond of Pine.
I'm a little upset by that trailer though. As much as I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Chris Pine is in it. It's kind of a spoiler.
I remember hearing this a while ago that he was going to be in it. Like, I don't think they're trying to hide it from anyone.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they're trying to hide it, but that's still, like, it's kind of a spoiler, or like an unspoiler. It's like it, because I guess spoilers for the first film. He dies in that first film, so somehow he's back. Like, I could almost understand it more if that's how they were framing the trailer, like the entirety of the thing or the entirety of the movie. Hey, it's now 1984 and Steve Trevor is back. How did that happen? Let's figure it out. And like, that's the film. Like, not that I would want that film because I think that'd be a lame film, but like the trailer would make more sense that way. I don't know. I just thought it was weird to have him in that film. Leave him out of it.
I looked at it. We have Diana. We have her new best friend, Kristen Wiig, with her big glasses. She's living in the 80s. It's bright colors. This is, you know, a year of like power, business suits, women on the move. She's going to the mall. This is so many, like, for me at least, for me, the personal lady that I am, I'm like, look at all these great, like, girly things I love. Malls, romance. And I think that's, like, I think it's more of a romance thing than a plot thing. That's how I was looking at it, at least. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, you would have like a cool best friend. Kristen Wiig loves you, follows you around. You wear cool outfits. You go to the mall and you get to kiss Chris Pine. What a great combo. What a fun, you know, fantasy for me. Wouldn't I love to do any of these things?
I don't think the film is, well, I don't know. I guess back of my mind, I think Chris Pine being back as Steve Trevor is either going to be a genuine thing, and he actually is back. He maybe he got Captain America'd and he got frozen in some ice thing.
Yeah.
He's back somehow. He was able to crash land back at Themyscira somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that, well, I guess that wouldn't really be possible because they were in England. Maybe one of the gods saw him and was just like, you know what? I liked him.
Yeah, it's just like Mercury or somebody who's like, I'm going to watch out for you, bro. I'm going to send you to this cool island. They'll take care of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, maybe one of the gods saved him and sent him to Themyscira to get healed by the healing powers of the Purple Ray. And yeah, that's a real thing.
I wish I knew any lyrics from the song Purple Rain, but they're not coming to me.
Or it could not be him. What if it's not him? What if it's someone masquerading as him, trying to get to Wonder Woman? We also know that Maxwell Lord is in this film. I think he's going to be the main.
Don't say we know this, because like I've never heard this name before in my life. Is this a man who designs watches? Who is this?
You saw him in the trailer. Let's see. Who's he played by?
He wasn't
Maxwell
labeled.
Lord,
I don't know his name.
Wonder Woman. They didn't name him in that thing, I don't think. Is it Pedro Pascal who's playing him? Yeah. Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian himself. Is that right?
Younger than baby.
Whoa, what happened to this thing? Yeah, so he's playing a character named Maxwell Lord. And he's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. In the comics, he was introduced in a series called Justice League International, in which this is after Crisis on Infinite Earths. The Justice League kind of continues for a bit, but it's not going too well. Aquaman is eventually left in charge of the Justice League. No one likes Aquaman. He steps down, and then it's all Martian Manhunter.
I trust Martian Manhunter way more than I trust Aquaman.
Yeah, but and so Aquaman was like, fine, I've had enough, and then it gets left to Martian Manhunter, and Martian Manhunter is left to pick up all the pieces, and it's no one that it's like Martian Manhunter, Vixen, Vibe, like it's
two tumbleweeds.
Yeah, and so
One
he's
moth.
like, all right, we're disbanding the Justice League. Then there's this event that happens, and that causes the Justice League to kind of reform. But like, hey, I guess we do actually need a Justice League here. And then shortly after that is when Maxwell Lord steps in, and he starts kind of pulling puppet strings and making certain things happen and making it look like the Justice League need to save the day, because he actually hired villains to go attack certain things, and like he has schemes, and he's conniving, but he does actually want to do
These
some
are all
good
powerful
things.
keywords for me. Schemes and conniving.
So he could somehow be manipulating things because he sees Wonder Woman as a way for him to get more power or something. So he's like, hey, she was in love with Steve Trevor. Maybe I can do something to make it look like he's back. Who knows? We'll see. I'm excited about that one, though.
This looks fun. I like what DC has been doing recently with, like, I don't know, kind of mixing it up with their films, and all of them are pretty different from each other. I really dug Shazam. Like, looking back on 2019, Shazam, I think, is one of my favorite movies I saw. Maybe not super high, but, like, Shazam could make the top 5. I saw a lot of movies this year.
Sure.
Shazam. Check it out this month for the holiday season. Shazam, a Christmas movie.
Yeah, and we also have an episode of the Reactor Core on that.
There's
for all your
so many
spoiler
episodes
needs.
of the Reactor Core you can go back and listen to. We've been bringing this one up a lot lately today.
How about the Ghostbusters trailer? The last trailer, I think we'll talk about. Is that right?
I dug this. Like, I think I was aware that there was going to be another movie in the Ghostbusters.
I had no idea.
I'd been hearing talk about it for a long time, but it wasn't until I saw, like, the official trailer from whatever studio it is that put it out that I'm like, oh, I had no idea it had gotten this far.
Happening. Yeah.
Like, I thought this was still being scripted somewhere. I didn't know, like, oh, they shot most of it already. So I was surprised, but I was pleasantly surprised. Like, this looks...
I really liked it.
Yes.
I'm not even a big Ghostbusters fan, and I didn't see the 2016 one. I heard that one was not really good at all.
I liked it.
But this seems to be picking up from, like, it's taking 1 and 2, and this is a sequel to 2. So
yes,
all the other Ghostbusters films are kind of getting like, yeah, those didn't happen.
Yeah, the real Ghostbusters is now in Ghostbusters Legends canon.
Yeah.
But what I like about this is that they are utilizing the sad passing of Missouri homeboy Harold Ramis. But they're using it, like, for something in the narrative. Like, I think I mentioned in Discord, which is a very serious, like all the other reactions are like, wow, cool, I'm so excited for this. And I'm like, you know, I really appreciate that the series about ghosts is really taking a serious look at loss and legacy after somebody dies. And I am, really. I think that's a topic, like, that's an aspect of ghosts that they have not really touched on. What happens to a family when somebody important is gone? We're not looking at the ghost part. We're just looking at the a person is dead part.
Yeah, I think you can even take that metaphor and use it on the Ghostbusters itself. Like, they tried in 2016, but Ghostbusters has kind of been dead and gone for a while. Like, what is the legacy of the Ghostbusters now? So yeah, I'm super stoked about this one.
Yeah, this looks really solid.
I like the creative choices of not focusing on comedy, at least within this trailer.
Yeah.
And also not using the theme song.
Yes, another bold choice.
Yeah. That's oddly one of the things that gives me confidence that they are gonna do this movie justice. That they have so much faith in the movie itself that they don't need to play on the nostalgia of right? Like, they don't need that. They're like, it's good enough on its own. And I was like, okay.
And at least what they wanted to showcase in the trailer did not need that or fit that. There could very well be a spot within the movie where that does fit. But like for this little section where they're like, well, mostly it's like this kind of spooky coming of age story where Finn Wolfhard moves into an old farmhouse that Egon used to have.
God, I just got out of Stranger Things and now I'm in this house and it's filled with ghosts. And there was a clown in the last neighborhood. God damn it.
I also saw a trailer for some movie he's in that's like nanny babysits spooky children. And like, I gotta hand it to this kid that he's like, this is my favorite genre. This is what I'm fascinated by and I love to work in. This is what I'm doing.
Favorite, or is he getting typecasted?
I think I've heard him say like he really is into like horror and supernatural and sci-fi stuff.
Okay.
Oh, this seems like he's like, you know, he's steering the wheel. He's like, I want to, please don't put me in like a Love, Simon, or like, I don't know. That was just the only like recent plain teen movie I could think of. What, like a Booksmart or something like that, or like what are other movies that just have normal teens doing normal teen things and nothing is spooky?
I don't
like a High School Musical, the musical, the series. As far as I know, there's nothing supernatural that happens in that, but I could be surprised.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Let's see. Christmas. Right around the corner.
Kyle, I have a question for you, and this is a serious question, and you're going to take it like a joke. I know you are, so put that up on the shelf, wrap it up, put it up there next to the elf. Take this no innuendo, take this at face value, please. Are you, or have you ever been, a naughty boy? Put it up on the shelf next to the elf, Kyle, and ask for a legitimate answer.
That's the title of this one. Have you ever been a naughty boy?
What? Tell me.
Like, are you looking for something specific? Like, have I gotten in trouble with the cops? Have I done like what?
See, this is what has been vague. Every year this gets on my mind because you go out in the stores and you look at Christmas merchandise like stockings or ornaments or like a little towel or a throw pillow or a novelty t-shirt or a coffee mug, any general Christmas merchandise. And it's all like, well, Santa, I tried, or Santa, just eat these cookies. Ignore the list. Like, it's all framed like the person displaying this item is on the naughty list. There is nothing indicating that the person is on the nice list. I think that is reserved only maybe for like little kids' clothing. Like, you know, nice baby might be written on a baby onesie, but an adult.
Oh my God. You need to sell baby onesies that just say nice baby.
This also fits your Yoda.
Nice baby.
Nice baby. But you understand. Like, I feel like the only clothing that gets that kind of genuine, sincere, like, I am good quality to it is clothing for a baby or toddler. After that, it's like, yep, I'm a hellion. What are you going to do about it? Like, there is no merchandise framed as if the person is on the nice list. There's nothing that says, like, I think I really did it this year. Nice list, here I come. Like, why is this the default setting for Christmas merchandise across the board? Yeah, we're getting bet. Who is proud of being an asshole? There, like, people don't believe there is a single person, because I am. Every year I try really hard. I try and be good, and I would like to have something that reflects, even if it's a silly novelty coffee mug shaped like a snowman head that says, I was nice this year. I did it. You can do it too. Like, there's no year after year after year. There is nothing that's like, occasionally you'll see something that's like, I'll try harder next year. But the next year it's not like, I did try harder. Santa, I think I've done it. What? There's nothing out there. And this seems so like pessimistic and cynical. Like, can we have something that believes in a better world? Can we have nice list merchandise, please?
Okay, I'm putting on conspiracy hat.
Oh, okay.
Christmas is this like weird Christian holiday that they took from the pagans, and it's a whole weird thing, and they're always like, hey, the 'tis the season. And they're always like, Jesus is the meaning for the season, or whatever. Like, you're supposed to be nice. You're supposed to be all that stuff. But I think deep down, there's so many people that try to claim this as like a Christian holiday that there is this, okay, well, if we're putting Christian ideology on that, they believe we're all sinners. So, like, by default, we're all on the naughty list.
No, I don't know. That's not he came down, he was born in all this hay, and the whole point of him was like, I forgive y'all. Y'all are pretty good. Let's be friends. Hi, my name is Jesus. You may know my father. As far as I've been made aware, I think that's how he goes. The whole point of him is forgiveness. And I
don't know. Like, it's one of those things. I feel like you just get to a certain age and you just give up. You're just like, well,
I think
I'm an asshole.
There's a difference between Po Body's Nerfect and I am giving up and I will never try to be remotely good again. Like, there's something so like, it's okay to like accept we have flaws and we try and we falter sometimes, but like year after year, every product is like, I screwed up, ignore that. Just give me stuff. Like, there's so many.
It's so true, though.
There's so many
really
facets.
Fucked up this year.
There's so many facets. Like, there is no Christmas item out there to celebrate the person that tried and did it, who you believe. Like, let's say, your mom's had a hard year. You're like, my mom's had a hard year. I want to give her something to support her, and she loves Christmas. I'm gonna go get her a Christmas thing, and everything's like 100% naughty girl, or like I tried, or naughty list, here I come, and you're like, but I want to show a statement of support, of you did it, of you are a good person, of I believe in you, and no, you're good, you did it, nice list, you're on my own nice list.
There's no thing. You can do that. You can be like, hey, you made my nice list, and just
I just have to go to Redbubble myself.
But Santa thinks you're all naughty boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Santa thinks you're all assholes.
I don't believe in this. I believe in, like, he takes a fair egalitarian look down at the list, all the way from Amelia all the way down to Zelda. He looks at every name.
The naughty list, though.
Mm-hmm.
One year, as a joke, I got my friend 2 presents. I forget what the actual gift that I got him was, but the first gift that I gave him was in this box, and he opened it up, and it was a gift packaged lump of coal. With like an info card of like, this is coal. It comes from blah, 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 blah. Here at this mine and all of that stuff. And he was just like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I'm just kidding. Here's your actual gift.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the stuff that I do.
I try and be good, and there's nothing. out there. Like, maybe it's weird to buy it for yourself. Would I buy a nice list item for myself? No, I don't think that's ego-wise murky waters for me. But like, if I wanted to buy something for somebody who's like
sex.
it's like, you really helped me out, and I think it's the time to stop and appreciate you. Like, I think you are a world-class person. What do I got? What? I just have like a reindeer, and he looks mad. and he says like bad boy on him. I don't know.
Oh man. Christmas is wild. Does your family still do gifts and stuff like that, or are you guys kind of past that?
No, we still give gifts for each other, but this is the first year that my parents were like, kids, you really don't worry about it. And I think it's because they have been like remodeling their kitchens. They had to tear like everything out of there, and their house is an absolute mess because there are so few places where anything can be put. Yeah, and I bet they're like, don't give us any things, please. Don't even give us a gift card. We'll lose the gift card. We don't know where anything is. Like, we're good. We're good this year. And like, one of my brothers just asked for like, I want to buy this jacket. Do you want to give me some cash to help pay for the jacket? I'm like, okay, that sounds fair. It's like, I think I have fewer like actual gifts this year, but we give stuff, especially because, we got my niece. She's 3 years old. That's a great time. If you got a kid in the family, you are all about gifts. Because you got to give the kid gifts because it's cute and fun. But then also you're like, well, she can't be the only one getting gifts. That's a weird power balance. All the adults also have to get stuff.
Candy bars.
I did legitimately buy my sister-in-law socks, but they're Bombas socks.
Bombas? Okay.
That's the best sock you can get.
Tried Bombas.
Well, I've not put them on. I don't have any for myself, but they came in the package for her, and they look fantastic. These
Speaking of socks,
look.
Oh, what? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, these sure look like everything they say to me on the old commercials on the black tapes.
Bombas socks. Speaking of socks, I've slowly been a good podcast listener and have been like transferring all of my underwear to Me Undies.
How's this going?
Good so far, except for their socks. I started buying their socks too, and I've started like switching all of my socks to Me Undies socks.
Me feetsies.
And Sam, I would love Me Undies to sponsor us.
Yes,
but I don't know if they stopped selling the ones that I bought, or they just ran out and haven't restocked them in like 3 months. But I only wear ankle socks, and I really like the ones that they have because they have this like extra tab on the back that like adds a little bit more protection for your like Achilles, right? So,
a Gorgon doesn't get you.
Yeah, so your like shoe won't rub in the back of your
yeah,
your
you won't lead to the fall of Troy. Yeah, protect the Achilles.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
And they just haven't been selling them for the past like 3 months, and I'm so upset. Come on, MeUndies.
Mondays.
Restock your socks.
Try a Bombas. Since I bought these as a gift, I cannot wear them. That's wildly a bad choice. But to actually just hold them in my hands. Good on hands. Good on hands. This is my
socks. Good on hands.
Try a puppet today.
So I saw a couple headlines this week in the news that just made me laugh. These are great headlines.
Yes.
Yeah. The first one I saw, this first one comes from Pink News. Not sure how credible this is, but this article is written by Emma Howis Maurice, I believe is how you say their name. It says, Mafia drops ban on homosexuality after discovering mob boss's son is a fabulous drag queen. I love this. The Mafia is gay now. I love it.
Not just regular, he's very, very good at it.
Yeah, he's a fabulous drag queen.
Truly exemplary at his field. Top-notch skills.
And this is the Italian Mafia has opened its doors to gay men for the first time after it emerged that a mob boss's son is living as a fabulous drag queen. Yeah. Wild.
What I like about this article is that it's like a Mafia investigator like found this out and revealed it to the news. I like that whoever this is, their job is to like, you know, do some sort of legal law enforcement thing, but they're like, oh, this is kind of nice. Hey, everyone, you need to pick me up today? Mafia's, you know, a little bit more welcoming.
Thanks.
Still a mafia, but a little more welcoming.
You're waiting in line to get your coffee. I don't mean to bother you, but did you hear? The Mafia is gay now. It's great. Enjoy your day.
This does sound like the beginning of a fantastic movie. I don't know who would be in it, but
it sounds like the start of a musical.
Oh, it does.
or like the end of the first act of a musical.
I do. Oh, I hope this does come to Broadway in the coming years.
That'd be awesome. So that was headline number 1.
Yes.
Headline number 2. Thousands of penis fish wash up on a North California beach.
So...
this is wild. I did not know what this was, and I was just like, that's a weird headline. And I looked at it, and I saw a picture. And oh my god, don't look at pictures.
So, in the interest of scientific accuracy, these are creatures called innkeeper worms. They are about, like, how long are they? Like 5 inches?
I mean, I was gonna say 9, but, you know.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said 5 inches so derisively. But, you know, they're about that long. They're about the thickness you would imagine. They're about the color palette you might imagine. They're kind of...
all the shapes and sizes you would think of when,
kind of
when you
pinkish,
think
kind of
penis.
purple, kind of bulbous at some points. They got the look. They got the look. But I gotta say, like, I understand why they're called... Okay. So you know how everybody's like, Italy is shaped like a boot, but there is no boot shaped like Italy?
Yeah.
These look like a penis, but like, I ain't never seen a penis that looks like these. And again, I don't need to be derisive. It takes all kinds. It takes all kinds. And, you know, every penis in the world is important. Please, let us all join hands. Let us all connect. Hands across America. We are here to say every penis, important, good, valuable. I'm looking at these. If these are the ones you've experienced in your life, like there's a whole wide world of other better ones out there. And if you want to be on a journey to find one, I believe in you and you can do it. There's a whole wide world out there of better penises than the penis fish.
So this I'm looking at an article from the LA Times. And again, you probably don't want to open it up at work because they really do look
unless
like
you work in
just
like a
bunch
fish
of
office.
Penises, or you like work at a sex shop or something. But this is written by Hannah Fry. And the start of it says, a phallic-looking phenomenon took over a northern California beach last week after a strong storm uncovered thousands of fat innkeeper worms, colloquially known as penis fish, leaving them stranded on the sand. Photographer David Ford was walking along Drake's Beach in Marin County on December 6th with his camera when he noticed a massive flock of seagulls that appeared to be munching on something on the shore. Oh my god. Let's see. Sam says something about the socks. She found the socks. If they're what I think they are. Yes, those are the socks. I'm buying those ones. They've ran out of my size. They only have small ones.
Oh.
And so it won't show up on the thing. But yeah. These things just made me laugh.
Yeah.
This was a good week when you see stuff like this on the internet.
Yeah, it's good. I'm happy to know of penis news.
This week in penis news. Breaking news on Penis World. This just in. Thousands of penises, I say.
Every newscaster sounds like the guy who announces pro bending and Legend of Korra. It's all that guy.
Whatever happened to that accent? Like, I want more sports stuff, like, commentated with that accent.
So somebody's just talking about, like, the World Cup or whatever, and it's like, well, Rodolfo...
And there he goes, he hits the bat, it goes, he's on third, he's going, and it's gone!
We should do this so for, we should do this for esports, especially if they are playing... Yeah. I don't know if all video games qualify for esports. I don't know what is an esports game or what isn't. But if you're doing something old-fashioned like a BioShock Infinite, it's right there in front of you.
Not an esport, but sure.
I don't know. Well, maybe we're just not trying esports hard enough. Anything's an esport. Welcome to professional Tetris.
I mean, Tetris 99 could be an esport.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good week. Here's an interesting question before we go. I was thinking about this week. Do you ever think streaming services will end up putting channels on their services? Like, if you're a Netflix subscriber, sometimes there's nights where you just don't know what to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But if you also have cable, or if you go to someone's house that has cable, or if you're visiting family and they still have cable or something like that, sometimes just watch what's on. That's it. Like, you just like,
watch what
it's
happens.
On, so I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. Like, do you think Netflix would ever do something like that? Like, hey, we are introducing 3 channels. A adult-centric one, a teen-centric one, and a children's-centric one. And we're just gonna put stuff on there randomly. And it's just like constantly playing.
I would enjoy a shuffle feature where it's like, okay, here are a bunch of different, like, I love cooking and baking shows. I would love if I could hit a button on Netflix and it's like, we have made for you a randomized playlist. Yeah. Here's a Sugar Rush. Here's a Zumbo's Just Desserts. Here's a Nailed It. Here's some Great British Baking Show. All kinds of stuff. We just made you a randomized playlist. This will play for you in the background all day while you frost cookies.
Or like one based off of the stuff that you've liked in Netflix
Pandora. We just want Netflix Pandora.
Yeah, basically. Like, hey, here's a channel that we made based off the stuff we know you like. We're just gonna go for it. Something will be on you will probably like. And if not, it'll be good enough to just watch and have on in the back. Go around.
Good enough. Yeah.
I mean, like, is that something you think would take off?
If they made one, I think I'd probably try it. And now I do have cable. I don't pay for it. It was like a free bonus thing. Like my apartment complex just has a deal with Charter. You just get some free cable for living here, which is mysterious, but I don't look into it. I'm just happy to have like
they
Food
get some
Network.
Special deal.
Yeah,
right,
HGTV that I can watch.
Yeah.
I do put it on. I think that might take away the last magic of TV, which is just wandering in and finding anything. Like, this is like that quaint charm of being in a hotel room, you know? And some like very up-to-date cutting-edge hotels might have like, here's like a Roku or something in there where you could get like a Netflix or an Amazon Prime or whatever. But like,
TVs.
There's something magic about like, oh, I just have the TV. I'm just going to wander in, see what I find. I'm going to watch half a rerun of The Nanny. You know, I'm going to see what's on QVC nowadays. And then I'm just going to watch like, diners, drive-ins, and dives. Like, the world is my oyster.
Like, I think something like that would be really neat for them to do. I don't know if they necessarily need more than one channel. Who knows? Like, I don't want them to be like, here's our crime channel, here's our cartoon channel, here's our this channel. Just one. Something is on. You can put this on in the background because, like, I don't know about you, but if I'm watching a show, I have shows that like I need like a half an hour show, I need an hour-long show, and I need something that I can just put on in the background that I don't need to pay attention to. And then depending on my mood, I'm like, I want to watch the half an hour long show, or I want to binge the hour-long one, or just like, I'm gonna play video games on my Switch and put cartoons on in the background.
Yeah. Some cartoons. The thing about that I like about TV is that there are no, like, there's nothing about it that is reacting to you. It is entirely its own immutable thing, and you just have to work and find something, and it might not be what you would pick, but like, you'll land on it, you will have to find your own charm in it. You know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna walk up the hill. This feels like a very old-fashioned thing. Like, we had to make our own fun. We had a stick and a hoop. But like, I don't think I would like it. A channel based on my, algorithmic readings, that would be great. But also, like, no, I just want to wander into something that just is there. Like this law of the universe. Like, this episode of this rerun of House is on at this time, and anybody could be tuning into this rerun of House. We're not reacting to you. We're not giving you Bones instead of House because we think you'll like Bones better. It's like, okay, everybody,
that could work too.
There's
just
one
like,
episode of House you have to pick from. There's one. Nobody can change it. It's locked in.
Yeah, I mean, something like that would work as well, because if it's something that everyone can watch at the same time, that also kind of encourages conversation. Like, people will be tweeting about it as they watch. Oh, like, I turned on the Netflix channel and we're watching House. I'd never seen House before, but geez, this guy sure is sick.
Look at how much his leg doesn't work.
Right? Like, that could be kind of fun. I don't know. Just something I thought about.
You know what's wild is my dad never watched House when it was on, but lately, like, it's rerunning somewhere, and I'll turn on his DVR, and he'll have like
it's all House.
20. 20 episodes of House recorded. And I'm like, when were you ever interested in House? Another thing, a final tidbit. So, first of all, news update. We can't get the sinkhole.
Oh, no.
So my parents, they're redoing their kitchen. They bought like granite countertops. And my dad is like, well, you have to cut a hole out where the sink goes, right? I'm paying for the entire slab, right? You're going to give me the sinkhole, right? No, apparently it doesn't cut out. No, it doesn't cut out in one neat chunk. They have to like crack it to get it out of the rest of the counter. Like theoretically, if he needed a bunch of tiny chunks of granite, he could buy it, but it's not
it's a puzzle. Just put it all back together.
It's not like the nice, neat
Here's
slab
some
he was
Gorilla
expecting.
Glue.
News update 1, news update 2. So some weeks ago, I'm at my parents' house, and a commercial for Cats comes on. And my dad says, yeah, I think this looks pretty good. The Cats trailer, if you are not aware, very divisive, weird, uncanny valley stuff. Yeah. The cats do look unsettling. They have human noses. None of the cats, like from scene to scene, from musical number to musical number, it seems like the cat's scale in relation to the background behind them completely changes. We can't tell how big a cat is. The cast is so wild. Why does this movie have both Ian McKellen and Jason Derulo? Who can say? So the general pop culture consensus is, oh, what kind of beautiful trash fire is this thing?
Yeah.
So my
what
dad,
the hell is this gonna be?
My dad is a musical fan, but this is not his type of musical. I don't think he's ever seen Cats. But he sees the trailer and he says, sincerely, this looks pretty good. And then the week after that, trailer comes on again. He says to my mom, I'm telling you, Anne, this is gonna be big. I think Cats is going to make a lot of money. And then Monday night, I'm over there. Another trailer for Cats comes on, and Dad says, I want to go see this one. And he says it with like gusto. My dad is a big movie buff.
This one. I want to go see this one.
He's a big movie buff, but he doesn't get out to the movie theater itself very often. The last movie I saw with him was Star Trek Beyond, which was in 2016. Okay. Yeah. And I don't know if he's seen a movie in theaters since then. Sometimes he'll try, but he'll he won't get the ticket. He won't like any of the seats that are available, and he'll give up. They tried to see Aladdin earlier this year. Another surprising move from Dad. I know he likes musicals, but lately he's been picking like not the musical I thought he would pick. They tried to see Aladdin, did not. But now he's like,
well, hey, maybe when Gay Mafia comes out, he'll want to go see
My
that
dad
one.
would love Gay Mafia. So, and he sometimes he'll say like, maybe I'd like to see that one. But this is the first time he's said like, I want to see this one. And do you want to see this one? And he turns to me and he's like, Melly, you want to go with me and your mom to go see Cats? And then like the whole family,
pajamas.
The whole family's out to dinner. He turns to Jams and he's like, Jams, if we went to go see Cats, would you also go? So he's putting this together. He's set on going to
planning
see Cats.
It out.
I don't remember the last movie all of us went to see. It might have been like Age of Ultron. I don't know. Like,
that's so wholesome, though.
Yeah. I like that he's so sincerely up on Cats. And like, if this was like a Music Man, a West Side Story, that's a little bit more of his brand.
Mm-hmm.
Cats.
So,
Cats.
Speaking of Cats
yes.
and Star Wars,
yes.
I listen to a lot of content from Kind of Funny,
mm-hmm.
And they have a show called Screencast.
Yes.
Where it's their movie podcast. They talk about all sorts of movies and the trailers that come out and stuff like that, and what's on Netflix and all of that stuff. Sometimes Gary Whitta comes in to host one of their other podcasts, Kind of Funny Games Daily. If you guys don't know, Gary Whitta is the creator of Book of Eli. He also wrote Rogue One, or he wrote Book of Eli. I'm not sure if he's the actual creator of the thing, but still. Yeah, so he wrote the book of Eli. He wrote Rogue One, all of that stuff. They are putting on a special edition of Screencast called Screencats, in which they are gonna have some big like spoiler cast of Cats when it
We're
comes
gonna
out.
spoil Cats, the most run live show in worldwide
Just
history.
Like, they're gonna go watch the movie and then come back and talk a bit about it, like we do with the Reactor Core and stuff like that. So yeah, I just thought I would share that in case you guys wanted to go see someone who's worked on Star Wars go talk about Cats. There you go. Okay, well, I say we wrap things up there. It's getting a little bit late on my end. That being said, a bit of housekeeping for you. Like I said at the start of the show, this is the final episode for 2019. We're taking the next 2 weeks off. I like taking the end of the year off. Plus, I will be out of town. And I'm the one who kind of does all of the streams and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I will be gone for the holidays. But be on the lookout for our 4-year retrospective. We hopefully are going to be finalizing details tonight. I'm going to talk with you about this after this, Melissa.
You
if
got
we
it.
don't end up recording it at the start of the year, it's probably still going to be on Saturday, maybe. I think we had tried to do the 14th, which is tomorrow night.
Oh, yes.
But Mick couldn't make it tomorrow night. So I'm hoping to move it to the start of the year, right when I get back and all of us can be there. And it's going to be a big old celebration. That should be fun. So be on the lookout for that. That being said, Melissa, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And we are planning a different kind of reactor core for Rise of Skywalker because you are leaving to go visit your parents like Friday morning. And I have tickets
6 a.m. my flight leaves.
Yeah, and I have tickets to see the movie 3 p.m. on Friday. And you're not lugging all this audio equipment with you across the country, so you wouldn't be able to record after you had seen it. So this is like maybe the first podcast on the Whatnauts network that will not have you in it.
Yeah, which in the retrospective from last year, that was my goal.
Finally,
to not be on an episode. I was like, I just want to not be on an episode of one of the podcasts that we do. I don't like being in a leadership role. That's not me. That's not my character. As talkative as I am here on these things, that's not me in real life at all. So, should be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to do it with a friend of mine. So this will be a whole new voice, a whole new world. And because I don't have the technical capabilities Kyle has, it will not be live streamed, and we'll put it on YouTube, but there won't be video. We'll find some still image for you to look at while we play the audio.
Yeah, that's fine. That works. Be on the lookout for that stuff. You guys can find me online at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter and Instagram. You guys can find us at the Whatnauts on Twitter if you guys want to stay up to date with all of our shows, which, yes, we do have multiple podcasts besides the Captain's Log here. So make sure you guys go check out all of those. You guys can find out more information on our website, thewhatnauts.com. And if you like what we do, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is where you can support us and toss us some pocket change and get all kinds of extra stuff like early episodes, access to the live streams of the review show, exclusive content, all sorts of good stuff. And we would like to give a big shout out to our patrons at the $5 tier. We are thankful to all of our patrons, but we do want to give a special shout out to Sam and Christine for helping us out. Thanks for supporting us for so long. I think you guys have managed to stick it out for more than a year now.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Sam, you did it.
Yeah. Good stuff. That being said, this is episode 77. We will be back in 2020 with season 3 of the Captain's Log. Be on the lookout for that. Till then, bye.
Bye.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out our show. We hope you enjoyed it. If you've been watching all year long, let us know in the comments below. Or if you're brand new, if this is your first one, let us know in the comments below. That would be fantastic. In the meantime, go subscribe to our channel right up here. Go watch one of our other videos right down in the corner there, and we will see you in the new year. Peace.